What does Theresa May's resignation teach us about her as a person and our systems in general? Let's have a look.
I will shortly leave the job that it has been the honour of my life to hold.
Initially, Theresa May is able to carry out the job of resignation within a kind of a professional frequency. She's just reading. The moment that interests me is the moment where her emotional nature punctures the facade and reveals the real person that's unable to present itself within a system that is prohibitive.
But with enormous and enduring gratitude to have had the opportunity to serve the country I love.
Oh, I've been told off in that voice in my life. Have you? Someone on the teetering on the brink of tears, the country I love. And there she is, the real Theresa May, only in the moment of her departure, safe to reveal her true nature. I think, as we will witness, that Theresa May will be replaced with, Boris Johnson or some other person from the Tory party. And it won't make a meaningful difference. What I think is revealed by this moment, it is the systems themselves that need to alter and change. And in that moment, there was a photograph, a digital snapshot of how the system goes to work on individuals, i.e. Theresa May herself, even as a member of the establishment, is its victim. She herself is restricted, contained, prohibited and inhibited by the necessities of the role she fulfills. She's not able to go to European negotiations and say, this is what I want, this is what I feel. Those things are irrelevant. We've created systems that prevent us from being human, that prevent us from being awake. Yanis Varoufakis told me that when he was one of the leaders of Theresa and he had to negotiate with the EU, he learned from dealing with, I think he said the guy was called Wolfgang Schäuble or something, but you can easily find out the name of the German finance minister. He said when he was talking to him, he realised that that man's power was only the power that that role afforded him. This, I think, is a pertinent point. Theresa May's power was contained within her role. Would you not like to have political leaders, and perhaps even the idea of leaders needs to be questioned, but people in positions of political authority that were human, like they were going, I don't know how to deal with this Brexit. I mean, it's bloody difficult because I know a lot of people want to leave and other people want to remain, and some people see the remaining as elitism and some people see the Brexit in as a kind of anti-immigration racism, but there are so many different narratives that can be drawn. Is there a way we can come together? Is there a way we can respect the democratic process without throwing this back in people's faces who already think that democracy it only operates to serve the wishes of the powerful, and if democracy doesn't behave in accordance with the wishes and will of the powerful, then people will just meddle with it and alter it. We need people that can talk normally. We need to create systems that permit people to talk normally. That the first requirement of a politician isn't that they ditch their humanity in a necessary attempt to become some kind of bureaucratic android, because look at the media discourse. Where does it allow for fallibility? Where does it allow for humanity? Where does it allow for mistakes, redemption? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. Those kind of conversations can't happen anymore because the system itself, we are creating machine-like systems that are making us more machine-like. So there is it's no coincidence that the people that rise to positions of power appear to be lacking in humanity, and when even their own emotion surges up in them, it seems like some unwelcome tick, some orgasm of emotion that needs to be suppressed. We ought to create a public space and systems that serve us, that distribute power, that distribute resources, that afford us to be what we actually are, that recognise the limits, the failings, the flaws, the requirements of humanity. When the veil of power is removed, when the strings are cut, you see the human being. When she burst into tears in that moment, or her voice altered because the emotion was too much for her, what it revealed was Theresa May was unable to be the person she actually and essentially is while she was in the role of Prime Minister. The role of Prime Minister doesn't afford her humanity. We have created systems that do not allow people to be human, to be themselves. They have to adopt a role, a persona, because the system operates within such a narrow and restrictive geometry that the true human experience is excluded. Like how it's really easy to sort of not like Theresa May, like she's like a robot or whatever, and you see her talking and you think, I ain't fucking like this person. Like you see, like, well, she's like a sort of droning headmistress drawn by Quentin Blake. That's the external image of her. But really, She's a woman that's known pain and suffering, that's fought, that has ambition. And that other crucial moment where she was asked to reveal personal information, when have you been naughty? And all she could dredge up from her memory was running through a field of wheat.
Me and my friends sort of used to run through the fields of wheat.
Was another reminder that this is a person that doesn't know how to behave. And the reason for that is not because of some individual failing of hers, but because we have created, or systems have been created, that do not allow for human fallibility and vulnerability. Take a moment to glance at the icon before which Theresa May speaks. A lion, the symbol of colonialism, power and carnivorous pursuit of more territory, and the unicorn. And remember, and look closely, the unicorn, the imaginative figure, the divine feminine, must always be chained. But Theresa May's divine feminine, just for a moment in an emotional quaver, revealed itself. And what I am suggesting is this is the nature that needs to be accommodated. Our animal divine nature needs to be brought into the conversation. We have lost touch with who we were. We are pretending to be something different, more machine-like. Our connection to the earth, our connection to the element, our connection to our true selves must be honoured in the way we organise systems. Yes, we have to be rational. We can't all just sit around eating vegetables and meditating and expect that the trains are going to run on time and prison systems and military systems are going to self-organise. Of course we can be realistic, but we have excluded the essence of our nature and then wonder why we live in a baseless, disconnected, disaffected culture. Why people that can appeal to rage, anger and tribalism suddenly are on the rise. It is precisely because we do not permit our leaders, our politicians, our discourse or our systems to be representative of our true natures. How can we nominate individuals to lead us if we don't allow them to be human? How can these systems that somehow refine people into cyborgs continue to be trusted? Getting rid of Theresa May will make no difference. Getting rid of the Tory party will make no meaningful difference. And I would even go so far as to say that Brexit or Remain will not make a meaningful difference unless we create systems where human beings are able to be human beings. Beautiful, romantic, flawed, fallible, occasionally disgusting. We need to create systems that benefit, encourage, nurture the better parts of our nature, not repress, refine them until we're just little binary cyborgs digitally clicking our way to some mundane apocalypse. If we want to change the world, we need to change the systems through which we organise power, and that change has to come from within each of us. We need to change. We need to be open to systems where people are permitted to be normal and ordinary, where leaders are not there to be adored or hated, praised or blamed, but are accepted as fallible humans, so that we recognise that power is something that belongs to all of us. Society is something that belongs to all of us. A protean, amorphous, ever-shifting system that does not have ossified, calcified idols there just to be loathed, hated, worshipped or admired depending on the trend of that particular day. Theresa May, just a person. Systems broken. Hello, I'm doing these new videos more frequently now. Please hit the notification button at the end of this video, because then you'll get a little bell when I post a new video, and I'd like you to get a little bell when I post a video. Then I can, I don't know, be buzzing away in your pocket. Sounds like I'd be like a little pocket mosquito. Anyway, subscribe, click the bell, because I want more people to watch the YouTube videos. You specifically.